everybody. Hello, everybody. Let me reduce this volume. There you go. Hi, how's everybody doing? How are we doing? Let me see. Today, I don't want to rush. I want to really calm down and do this video because I don't know when next I'm going to be able to talk about this, and this is a very in-depth topic. It's too much. I know that there is no way I can even scratch the surface, but today I don't want to be like, super fast. I just want to calm down, have you ask questions, and then I would go ahead and answer, or at least attempt to answer those questions. Hello guys, hello everybody, hello. How's everybody doing? How are you doing today? Welcome to March. How are you doing? Before we start, can you hear me? First and foremost, can anybody hear me? Can everybody hear me? And let me see if I get an answer to that, then I can go ahead. Let's see. There you go. Hi, Funaya. Thank you so much. Hello, Barry. Hello, Emeka. Hello. Okay, thank you guys. Okay, at least you can hear me, right? Please, if you're joining me, you know the drill. Go ahead and please share this on your timeline. Please. Now, the reason why I always ask, I think this is basically the only thing I ask of you guys, or one of the very few things that I ask of you guys, and the reason why I ask you to help me to share is because like when you help me share, it helps me put this message out there. This is my passion. This is me sharing whatever it is I know with you and with other people out there. And the reason why I'm so passionate about what I do is because I tend to be a student of life. I have an insatiable thirst for knowledge. I love to ask why. I need to know. Like, if you tell me that this works this way, I want to know why. Okay, it's not enough for me for you to tell me to just go ahead and do something or to believe something. You need to tell me why. And I know I'm not the only one. I know that there are hi Chichi. I know that there are so many other people out there who want to know why. I know that there are so many other people out there who've been asking questions for a very long time. I think at the age of 8, I believe, I had already met a bishop, a Catholic bishop, in my bid to understand certain things. I was asking questions about purgatory. I was asking questions about hell. I was asking questions about so many things. So I know that there are people who are wondering like that, who want to, they want answers to certain questions. So that is the reason why I do what I do. So please help me share this. If you're watching, please help me share this. Today, we are going to be discussing soul contracts. I'm going to be using a lot of Igbo terms. So please, if you are Igbo and you are able to translate, help me translate this. Not just for the people who are watching while this is live, but for the people who will watch afterwards. So please, if I use any term and you're able to understand and simplify it in English, kindly help me translate and then just post it in the comments, okay? So today we're talking about Iwa, which is known or can be loosely translated as soul contract or soul agreements, or the agreements we had or the souls had before they reincarnated or before they incarnated. These are things that we're going to be talking about, okay? Now, let me give you a backstory. The reason why I decided to talk about this is this. I made a video on reincarnation last year, and that video, it caused a lot of brouhaha. People watched it a lot, and people had so many questions, and most of the questions that I got were actually inbox, even though, it has quite a number of comments, but most of the questions that I had were inbox. People wanted me to explain what I was talking about. Somebody asked me, are you saying that I deliberately decided to incarnate or reincarnate in Nigeria? How is it possible? Why didn't I choose any of the first world countries? How can I possibly, you could tell, even though I couldn't see him, but from what I was reading, I could tell that he was livid at the thought of me even suggesting that he chose to be born in Nigeria. There are things like that. How do you tell a man who has started several businesses and all these businesses shut down, and then you go and tell this person that it's because they chose such path? Honestly, if you tell people this thing in real life, you could end up seriously hurt, because they are going to just pour out all their frustration on you. It's kind of, it's I don't know. But that's the reason why I came on today, to clarify it. I'm still going to post another video on reincarnation. The reason why I've not posted that video yet is because even though it's been a long time since I made the reincarnation video, I wanted to provide some kind of backstory before I now share like stories of people who know that they reincarnated, or people whose children reincarnated with you. I want to share those, and then I will share stories of not just Africans. I want to share stories of even Caucasians. I want to share stories of Asians, of Indians, people who have reincarnated, and they are known to be reincarnated. Some of them you probably even know. So I want to share their story. But before I do that, it is so important that I cover this particular topic. Iowa, the life you chose before you were born. The life you chose before you were born. Iowa, that's what we're talking about today, okay? So first and foremost, soul contracts are contracts that our souls decided, or things that our souls decided to experience when we incarnate on earth. What am I talking about? Now, please, if you're going to listen to this, if you would please listen to this with an open mind, I would really, really appreciate it. If you have questions for me, even before I start, let me say it again. Go ahead and type all your questions. I will try to be reading through, and I'll try my best to answer as much as possible, okay? But please listen to this with a very open mind, okay? Now, before we were born, before people are born, the soul tends to choose things that would help its evolvement or its evolution, okay? What that means is this. Let's just say that all my lifetimes I have been very wealthy. Whenever I incarnate, I would incarnate as a very wealthy being. Like whatever I touch just turns into gold, right? And I keep doing this for several lifetimes. My next lifetime, I could be like, you know what? I've experienced this so much, it has become boring. Let me go ahead and learn something new. So instead of me reincarnating again this time as a wealthy person, I would reincarnate as somebody who is still struggling to make ends meet. Somebody who, I'll reincarnate so that I will experience the other side, the flip side of being wealthy, which is being poor. So you would find that instead of me now touching things and they turn into gold, I'm touching things and they are not exactly working, and I don't understand why. I touch this and my spirit tells me, yeah, go ahead and try this. And the reason why I'm being told to go ahead and try this is because probably in other lifetimes, I tried that particular business and it worked, right? So I have this deep conviction inside of me that if I try this, that it's going to work, right? I don't know why, but I just feel that it's going to work. Why? I've done it in another lifetime. So I come to this lifetime and I try this business. Let's just say we're doing a transportation business, right? So I tried to try transportation business. And even though I was so sure that it was going to work, guess what? This time around, it didn't work. And every other thing like that. Every other thing that I touch like that. And it gets frustrating. Why? Most of these people, if you want to know if you've ever met somebody like this, somebody who has been incarnating as a wealthy person, and all of a sudden, they are now here and they're trying to make things work and they're not working. If you want to know if you've met any of those, or if you are one of those people, one of the main signs is this. They are surprised that things take so much work for them to actually work out. Sometimes people like this wake up and they are frustrated that they're not where they want to be. They expect things to be easy, and things are not easy. I don't know if you've ever met a man and when you see him, he talks like he's so affluent. He talks like he's so sure of himself. He talks like he commands a very great degree of wealth. But lo and behold, he doesn't have a dime. He's broker than broke. But when you talk to this person, you can sense that there is, like, I don't know how to explain it, but some people, when you meet them, you can tell that they are rich. It's not just about the cash or money or stuff like. You can tell that they are abundant. But when you talk to this person, she know they, and most of them are so frustrated. They will tell you, do you know who I am? And you're looking at the person. You're looking at this person that is asking you, do you know who I am? From head to toe, like nothing there inside though. But that is how they feel. Why? They have reincarnated so many times as wealthy people. So to them, wealth is natural, it's a natural state. But then in this lifetime, they don't have it. They do not have the physical wealth. I don't know if you know anybody like that, or if you've ever experienced something like that. These people, they wake up and they're like, wait, why don't I have servants waiting on me hand and foot? This does not make sense. And when they act like that, most people think is that, like, people tend to misunderstand what they are trying to, what they do. Basically, people tend to see these people as entitled. These people come off as entitled. They expect things to just fall into place. They expect things to just work out, right? People tend to see them as entitled, but that is not exactly what it is. I'm not saying that there are no, that some people are not entitled. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that this particular group of people, this is how you're going to know them. They expect wealth to be all around them. They're angry that they have to lift a finger. Why? They have been like that for lifetimes. And all of a sudden, the script changed. They changed the script, but guess what? They forgot all about it. So they're here, they're frustrated, they're doing everything, and it's not working. Another scenario that I'm going to give you is this. Let us assume that let's say a man. Okay, let's just say a man. I keep giving it instead of women. So a man, like, he's been married, he's had a very wonderful family life all his lifetimes. He's always had a wonderful family life, but he took them for granted. Okay, he puts work first, he puts money first, he put his business first. He never appreciated his family. He never really took time to, enjoy what he had, the people he had in his space. He never took time to, just bond with his children, his family, and stuff like that. It was all about money, 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 money. Lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Then in this lifetime, he comes over here, okay, because now his soul is like, you know what? We've done this over and over and over. We've overplayed the script. Let's try something new. That is what his soul wants to learn, okay? But remember that when we reincarnate into the world, there is something called the veil of forgetfulness. The veil of forgetfulness is the reason why most times you don't remember everything. You could have like snippets here and there. Oh, I had the déjà vu. Oh, I feel I've been here before. Wait, I think I've met this person before. Wait, haven't we met before? You could have snippets of that. But the whole story you're not ever going to see. Why? The veil of forgetfulness. It prevents you from remembering the things that happened in your past lives so that you don't make the same mistakes. Because, for instance, that person that we talked about that makes money with ease, right? If you lift the veil of forgetfulness, now they know exactly what to do to get that money that they've always been getting in other lifetimes. Which means that their soul does not get to learn the lessons that it's here to learn. That is why we have the veil of forgetfulness, okay? Now, this man comes over here, the man with the great family. He has forgotten everything about family, blah, 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 blah. Okay, Oga has come now. Now he has made money. Remember, that is what he always does. In this scenario, he has made money as usual. But now, he gets married to the first wife. The marriage crashes. Why? He's doing the same thing he did in his past lives, right? Remember, he never appreciated family. Remember, he never took time to bond with people or members of his family, children, all of that, right? So he's here and he's like, okay, well, it's business as usual, except that he flipped the script. And the reason why he flipped the script is because there is something else that his soul needs to learn at this time, in this lifetime. So this man comes and he marries one beautiful babe, all of that, starts a family, and he goes on his merry way of trying to make money and all of that. You know, the same drill he's doing all this while. Guess what? The marriage crashes. He doesn't understand it. Why is it not working? This has always worked. He doesn't get it. Of course, he's not thinking this has always worked because he has forgotten, he's forgotten everything about that lifetime. But then he's like, wait, what is going on? This is not working. So he thinks it's his wife's problem, right? It's the wife that caused the issue. So Oga has money. So getting a new wife is not going to be a problem, right? So he marries another wife. He has still not learned the lesson, which is to appreciate the people that are there for you, which is the balance of give and take. This wife has been, nurturing you and all of that while you go on your business and you come back and all of that. You're not giving her back. She's not complaining. But remember, there is something called karma. Karma is balance. Karma is not punishment. It's just balance. It's mainly, okay, you did this to me. Well, that's fine. The universe will make you experience the same thing as well. Not to punish you, but so that you can experience the other side as well. It's all about balance. So Oga marries the second wife. Clean wife, probably even more beautiful than the first, more domesticated, all of that. But guess what? Again, this marriage crashes. Now Oga is not understanding it. Women must have a problem, he says. These women, they are just not it. They don't want to stay married. Women of these days, blah, blah. He's not getting it. He's not getting that there is a role that he's still playing. He's not understanding that he so wants him to dig deep, to go within, to understand that it's not all about materialism, right? He's not getting that. So now he's talking about women. Oh, these women, this one did this, okay? This one did that, okay? Like that. He's not getting it. He's already angry with women. Something is going on. He's not getting it. But remember that Oga is a very wealthy man. And remember that even if Oga wants to marry 20 wives, it's not going to be an issue. So guess what happens? Oga marries another wife. Now, instead of the regular classy slave mamas that he would marry, Oga will now try maybe to marry somebody who is a little bit more naive, who doesn't really know much, because now he wants somebody that he would be able to groom into his idea of a perfect wife, which worked. The only problem is that it worked for only 10 years. And then the perfect wife that he groomed for himself decided that she was not doing it anymore. And the third wife walks away. Oga is completely shattered. He does not understand it. Why me? Why are these things happening to me? What is it? After all, my friend that does not even have money, that is a palm wine tapper in the village, his wife is still with him. Why is it that my wives, no matter what I do for them, they do not stay? Can you guys hear me? Please, I need to see comments. So, cause me, I've not seen any comments here. I need to make sure that you guys are hearing me. Okay, so Oga starts to wonder, why? What is it? Okoro, my friend that comes here every time saying that he doesn't have money, and I lend them money. I even paid for the wife's delivery fees the other time. The man doesn't have money, but see how loyal his wife is to him. But these my own wives, no matter the kind of cars they want, I buy. No matter what it is they want, I do. But they still do not stay. Why? He doesn't understand it. It's a problem. He's not ready to fix anything because he doesn't know it's a problem. To him, the problem are the women in his life, not him. Why? Now, let me talk about something else. In the case of conception, I want to talk about this, and this is just one scenario. I need you to understand that there are several scenarios that play out when it comes to these things, especially about conception. But let me talk about this. Let's assume that a woman has been giving birth to children, lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, and she pours everything into these children, into raising them. As a matter of fact, in some of her lifetimes, she stayed in abusive marriages just because of her children. She gave them everything. She denied herself so many things. She sacrificed so much for her children. And then her children mistreat her. Maybe in one of the lifetimes, one of her children even killed her. And so she says, in my next life, I don't think I want to have children. Something that was decided out of bitterness, out of anger, out of frustration. She thinks about this deeply and her soul is like, no, in my next life, I will not have children. Because how can I give everything to my children and they treat me like this? No. In Igbo, they will say, Uwanu wamalo, agame muwa. What that means is lifetime after lifetime after lifetime, I will not have children. Bitterness, pain made them say that. Okay? And then they reincarnate. And now, remember, there is the veil of forgetfulness, so they don't remember what they said in the past lifetime, and they are here in this lifetime. And now, they want children. They are seeing these children, and they want children. They want to have children so bad, because remember now, they no longer remember all those things that their children did to them. That was in a past lifetime. So in this lifetime, they desperately want children. But there is a soul contract, something called Iwa. I means an oath, a promise, a contract. Iwa. So she starts going from this place to this place to this place to this place. She starts trying to have children. She does everything trying to have children. Why do I not have children? Why am I not able to conceive? I know my friend, she had 1,000 abortions and now she has 5 kids. But I married a virgin. I never had sexual contact before I got married. Why do I not have children? Another instance that could play out like this could be a woman who has reincarnated several times and she always has children, right? And it was good and all of that, but then her soul decides, you know what? In this lifetime, we're going to experience the flip side of this thing that you have learned, because being a mother has taught you several things. It's taught you how to nurture. It's taught you mercy. It's taught you goodness. It has taught you kindness. You have gotten all these beautiful virtues from being a mother lifetime after lifetime. Now, you are going to learn the lessons of not being a mother in this lifetime. You are the one that chose that, because you have gone through all these lifetimes having children. The problem is you incarnate into this world, the next reincarnation, and then you want children. Remember, this is all you have known. Lifetime after lifetime after life, you've had so many children. So when you come here, your mind does not remember that you said, you know what? I want to experience something different. I want to experience what life will be like without children. This could happen in regards to jobs. It could happen in businesses. It could happen in relationships. Point is, there are soul contracts. And most times, these contracts are the things that your soul signed up for. The experiences you signed up for. The people you signed up to meet. Let me give you an instance now, okay? All right. So in regards to relationships, you could decide, you know what? All my life, I've been with guys that are very cool-headed, blah blah blah, they're gentlemen, blah blah blah. All of that has been rosy. I've enjoyed compassion, I've enjoyed balance, all of that. In my next lifetime now, I want to experience the flip side of this stuff. And then you reincarnate here, and all of a sudden, kata everywhere, you run to this part. You're like, why is Obi like this, please? In fact, you know what? Obi is the problem. Obi is the problem, so I'm going to leave him alone. Let me go to Femi, right? So you leave Obi and you go to Femi. Relationship starts and it's so good at the beginning. Obi dosia, on us, all right? Next thing, Obi, what's his name? Femi starts to show you the same thing that Obi was showing you. And now you're wondering, wait, are these people brothers? I don't understand though. I left the whole of Igbo tribe and I went to Yoruba. And I'm getting the same thing. What is going on? Why are they all treating me the same way. You have forgotten that there was a soul contract. You are here to learn lessons. You are here to resolve karma. So regardless of who you go to, you're going to probably see the same thing until you resolve the karma. It's not about people's faces. It's not about where they're from. It's not about changing from one person to the other. It's about lessons. Have you learned the lesson? Once you learn that lesson, the karma dissolves. You don't have to deal with that again. But provided you're still struggling with learning that lesson, provided you're still seeing the other person as the problem, the lesson continues. So you keep changing. From this man, you go to the next person. From this person, you go to the next one. You can even decide to leave black men completely because you're not understanding it. It's probably has to do with their, So you go to Caucasians. You're like, you know what? Let me try Caucasians. It's something different. And, initially it is something different. It's beautiful. Until something happens. Because these are karmic relationships. They are karmic relationships. What that means is that you have karma that you have to dissolve. What do I mean by karma? Karma to dissolve in relationships. What I mean is that this man could be so sweet, and then all of a sudden one day he changes. Have you ever found yourself in relationships where you keep saying stuff like, you changed, you were not like this before, what happened? You changed. Karma. He was so nice to you and all of a sudden he changed. He's supposed to be nice to you so that you can come in, right? And meet him and develop that bond, and then the lessons start. That is why I always tell people, not just women here, I always tell people, it is good to heal if you want to heal, but do not get yourself out of relationships simply because you want to heal, because there are triggers that you would never get when you were alone. The way to know if you have healed is by being in a relationship where that other person triggers you. Then you know, okay, I've actually healed because the same thing happened and you reacted a different way. The moment you take care of whatever it is that is going on, that karma dissolves. Your karmic debt is paid. So it's not about marrying how many wives. It's not about marrying how many husbands. It's not about trying out different. No. That's not what it is. Focus on the lesson. Ask yourself, what is this trying to teach me? What is my soul trying to learn? It's not about your ego. It's not about men being scum. Please, Facebook, don't do me like that. I'm just illustrating something. That's not what it is. The men are not the problem. The women are not the problem. The only issue we're having is this: you have not found out what you are here to do. Who are you? Now, let me talk about this very important part before I go on. There is something that is no longer in Igbo land. In fact, something that is no longer in, let me talk about Nigeria, because I'm a Nigerian. I don't know about other African cultures. But in Nigeria, in Igbo, Nali Igbo, back in the day, right, from what I've seen in movies, from what I've read and all of that, when a child is born, the parents of the child will take this child to a priest or to a priestess to tell them, first and foremost, who is this child? Who reincarnated for me? If you are Igbo, please, I beg you, I'm trying to interpret it or translate in English as much as I can, but they will take the child to a priest. They will take the child to a priestess because who reincarnated for me. And then the priest or the priestess will consult and tell them, it is your great-grandmother, it is your great-grandfather, it is so and so. Do you know why they ask those questions? Because before they leave, the priest or priestess will tell them, this child, please, do not let this child take alcohol before the age of 25. Please, this child, do not let this child climb a tree before the age of 15. This child that you gave birth to, please, treat this one very gently. This child will be stubborn, but please, do not beat this child. This child that you gave birth to, with time, this child's hair will coil. Please do not cut this child's hair. They tell you first and foremost, the person that reincarnated, they tell you who this person is to become. Why that is important. important is that if you have such information, you will not see a child that is destined to be a medical doctor and be asking this child to go and be a footballer, or vice versa. The reason why they did this in the past is so that you will not see a child that is supposed to be a singer. This child was supposed to be a powerful voice for that particular generation, and then you go and ask the child to study law. That this is how those kind of problems were prevented. Now you see people, they will go and study what was it? What was my first degree itself? Optometry. Good. Optometry. You will see the child will go and study optometry. After studying optometry, they will come and be selling hair on Facebook. That is not to say that entrepreneurship is bad. Not at all. I love entrepreneurship, but it is what it is. That was how some of these problems were averted. We are in a hurry to, remove our tradition. We're in such a hurry. We want to abolish it. We want to keep cutting down trees. We want to keep doing all these things. What are you putting in place instead of these things? Because these things solve problems. They solved a lot of problems. For instance, if a child, the man that we talked about that married how many wives, when he was born, he was taken to the priestess, and the priestess was like, look at the person that reincarnated. Look at the challenges that this child would have. Please, when he gets to so and so age, tell him this, tell her that. Do you think that this man will have so many challenges in the area of marriage? I'm asking. Can you please type your comments? I'm reading. I'm reading today. Will this particular man have these kind of challenges in marriage? Do you think so? Do you think that if the lady that keeps on telling herself, please, hey, how do I have a child? How do I have a child? And when that girl, do you think that if by the time she was 14, for instance, her mother called her to the room and told her, my daughter, when you were little, we took you to so and so place. Look at who they said you reincarnated as. Look at the challenges she had. Look at some of the challenges that might come up. Look at how you could avert such challenges. Do you think that she'll be running from pillar to post, trying to figure out what is going on with her? I'm just asking. Iowa, what is your soul contract? I always ask people, when I see a person trying so much to achieve something, and it's not working, and I observe, I always ask, what is your soul contract? Do you know your soul contract? Most times before I ask that question, I've already been told what the person's soul contract is, but I still ask though. I will ask you, what is your soul contract? Do you know? Do you know? I know that you want to make money, you want to be this. Have you asked yourself, what is my soul contract? What is my soul here to learn? What are the lessons that are in it for me? Because listen, I teach manifestation. And I don't just teach to teach. I teach it because I live it. Anybody who knows me, I have a very tight, circle. But the people that know me, they know that I live a manifested life. It's not something I come on Facebook to just talk about. No, this is what I live. So I believe in manifestation. Ikenga. I believe in determination. I believe in perseverance. I know that you can manipulate your soul contract. That is not what we're talking about. But find out, first of all, what is my soul contract? What am I here to learn? What is it that you're finding so difficult to get? Is it money? Is it jobs? Is it stability? Is it children? What is it that you're finding so difficult to achieve? And what is your soul contract with that thing? Have you ever wondered? Have you ever wondered why two friends will go out to do money rituals? They will go out to do money rituals, and one of them, they will tell the person, you know what, bring a goat. And they will tell the other person, you have to kill your mother, your father, or your or your future children, or your unborn children. You have to kill all of them. Have you ever wondered why? Why is one person being told to bring only goats, and the other person has to finish his entire generation to be able to have the same wealth? Why? Soul contract. What is your soul contract? Have you ever wondered why, after you told that man, that dibia. No, pastors don't do this mainly. It's mainly DBS. You told that DBA, please, I want this, I want that. After they do everything, they tell you, have you ever wondered why? Have you ever wondered why? Well, let me tell you now. They are saying that. They're telling you that because you are trying to manipulate. You are trying to change. You're trying to mess with your soul contract. That is why. Two of these men, maybe man A that was told to bring a goat, it has always been in his soul contract to be wealthy in this lifetime. It's possible that he even said in his previous lifetime that instead of him not making money in this lifetime, that he would do rituals and get money. So when he goes there, because it's in his soul contract, they will tell him, bring a goat, and that's it, money flows. That is if money rituals work. I don't know if they work or not. We're just using this as, an example, right? And then man B, because his soul chose poverty in this life, or maybe not even total poverty, maybe just for him to experience poverty for a little bit, and then he will get into wealth naturally, right? But because he was not patient, for that soul contract to expire so that he can go back to enjoying abundance that was destined for him. He wasn't patient enough. Because he's trying to do some shortcuts, they will now tell him what it will cost him, and the cost will be very, very steep. They will ask for everything. They will ask for both the people you have that are alive and the ones that are still coming. They will ask for it all because you're trying to mess with your soul contract. What is your soul contract? Some of the people that I'm talking to now, some were born into a family. Hey, God. The family that they were born into, you don't even want to experience it. It's better that the person was born without a family than for the person to have been born into that family. So they keep asking themselves, God, what did I do? How did I end up here? Why do I have this kind of siblings? This kind of parents? Why? Soul contracts. Soul contracts. Look beyond the person. If your mother is being the most horrible person on earth, what is the lesson? What is she trying to teach you? What is your soul contract with her? You cannot come through a person you don't have soul contract with. It's not possible. You cannot be born through a woman that you do not have soul contract with. Whether she's nice to you, whether she's mean to you, the question is, what is your soul contract with her? What are you learning? Sometimes the reason why she birthed you is so that she can be that mean to you, so that you will learn how to put yourself first, so that you can build your self-concept, so that you can be like, you know what? Mom, I love you, but enough is enough. I can no longer take this. And then you get away from that soul contract. But it's not something you do through bitterness. It's not something you can do through my mom, I don't ever want to see her. It will not be no. You must do this thing from the bottom of your heart, and you must do it with love. You must do it with forgiveness. Someone is calling me. Sorry about that. You must do it with love. You must do it with forgiveness. In your heart, you cannot just be like, okay, you know what? This is my mom. She's not nice to me. I'm never going to talk to her again. I'm going to go ahead and disown her. No, that's not how it works. For you to resolve that soul contract effectively, you have to do it with love. And you have to start within. This one is not something you start by pointing fingers. What this my ex-wife did to me, what my ex-husband did to me, what my mother did to me, what my boss at work did to me. You cannot get there from there. No, it doesn't work that way. It has to be done with love. Now, let me answer a question that I know that very, very soon I'm going to get. Please, guys, I don't want to talk about this inbox. So that's why I want to really take time to talk about it today. Now, okay, so I was talking about how these soul contracts affect a person. You can see a person. Now, let me give you an instance of when a soul contract is expired. Because soul contracts do expire. How do you know that a soul contract is expired? You've been working at this place. It's been a very beautiful journey. You enjoy working at the company. Everything is good. And then all of a sudden, your boss changes. No matter what you do, it's not good enough. No matter how much you put your blood, sweat, tears into the job, it is not good enough for the boss. You're no longer comfortable. It's no longer giving you joy. It's possible that your soul contract with that particular institution has expired. Let me give you another example. A very well known, it's something we experience, something we see all the time. You have been let's say Muslim all your life. You were born in Islam, you grew up as a Muslim, that is all you've known. And then all of a sudden you wake up one day and it doesn't make sense anymore. You don't want to be a Muslim anymore. It's not adding up. And then you meet somebody who is a Christian and they talk to you about Christ and you're like, wow, I have seen the light. A lot of people say this when they're living a particular religion. They'll be like, I have seen the light. This is amazing. Wow, this is what my life has been missing. What that means, it doesn't make Islam bad. It doesn't make Christianity better. All it means is that your soul contract with one religion has expired and your soul contract with another religion just started. That is why sometimes you see a person who has been Christian all their life and they decide that all of a sudden Christianity is no longer doing it for them. They want to be either atheist or, am I saying that word right? Geez, that is one of the words I just cannot say. There are so many of them, but yeah. I don't know if I'm saying it right. But it's either you decide, you know what, I don't even believe in this God thing. Not doing it. Or you decide, you know what, I want to go into spirituality. It doesn't mean that either one is bad. It doesn't mean that any one of them is better. It is just about soul contract. When the contract has expired, there is nothing that you can do about it. You are no longer comfortable. That's why sometimes you will see a Catholic priest and then he wakes up 25 years after, 30 years after, he's like, you know what? I don't want to be a Catholic priest anymore. I've seen the light. Now I'm going to practice spirituality. Or he can decide, you know what? Now I'm going to be a pastor. Nothing is wrong with the pastor. Nothing is wrong with the priest. Nothing is wrong with anyone. It's just soul contracts. Once it's expired, it's expired. And that's all it is. That is all it is. So when you see somebody and they have been a practicing traditionalist all their lives, and then they decide that they're giving their lives to Christ, their life is anew, you have to respect that. You have to respect that and understand that everybody is on their journey. It is about your soul. This is not your ego. The reason why we get all crazy and all bitter when people leave certain things, even when people do things as simple as leaving our churches, we get so mad, especially a lot of pastors do this. I don't know so much about spiritualists. A spiritualist. I don't know what they do. But I know that a lot of pastors do this. You see your members, they are leaving from your church. They are going to another church and you get so mad. Why are they leaving? No, sir. Their loyalty is to the message, not to the messenger. You need to understand that. The loyalty is to the message, not to the messenger. That is your ego speaking. I don't want them to leave my church. They have to come. That is ego. The soul doesn't care about all of that. What the soul cares about is this person getting the enlightenment that they need? Is this soul evolving the way it should? Is Christ consciousness at play in this person's life? It's not about the church. Neither is it about religion. No matter which religion a person believes in, an enlightened soul will always respect people's religion. Whenever you see a person, I don't care if you're a traditionalist, you're a pastor, I don't care. Whenever you see a person that is doing everything they can to bring one person from one religion to another, that is ego. That is not your soul. Because number one, your soul loves everybody unconditionally. Your soul doesn't care about their religion. It just sees another being and it loves it. That's it. Whenever you start thinking, for instance now, I myself, I switch to spirituality. Any day you see me and I come on here and I start telling you, listen, you have to leave your church. You have to leave this one. You have to leave this one. This one that I'm doing now is the best. Sweetheart, please send me an inbox immediately. That is my ego speaking. That can never be my soul. My soul loves you unconditionally. My soul respects your journey. My soul understands that we are not on the same level of evolution. And my soul respects that. What that means is that all that matters to me is that you are good. You're okay. So if it is Christianity that you understand that works for you, if I want to sing a song and I want to pass a message to you, I don't mind singing a Christian song. I will sing a Christian song because that's the best way I can relate to you. What matters to me is the nourishment, your soul's own evolution, and my own journey. That's it. I don't care. Now, let me go back to an expired contract. Whenever a contract, a soul contract expires, no matter what you do, it makes it worse. It just goes downhill from there. But the mistake that we make as human beings is that we tend to think that the earthly contracts supersede our spiritual soul contracts, and that does not work. We do things like till death do us part, right? Good. Soul contracts do not work like that. You see that person that you're doing till death do you part with, let me give you this now. Your soul contract with that person might just be for 1 year. So while you are busy doing till death do us part at the altar, the soul contract is remaining 11 months. Sometimes it's remaining 6 months. That is why sometimes you see people and they have dated for 8 years. They have dated for 10 years. And once they get married, after 3 months, they divorce. Have you ever asked yourself a question like, why? They were doing they were couple goals, on Instagram and stuff like that. 10 years, 15 years of dating. They even have children. They have such an amazing home. And then they get married. 1 month after the wedding, pew! Everything crashes. Have you ever asked yourself why? The man that you're marrying, the woman that you want to marry, before you say till death do us part, have you tried to find out what is my soul contract? What is the duration of my soul contract with this person? That is why we have to take a second look at divorces. That is why we have to take a second look at separation. This is not me trying to convince you of anything. This is me trying to get your mind to expand. Think about it just a little bit. You don't have to overthink. Just a little thought. That's it. We have to take a second look. Let me give you an instance. A marriage whose soul contract has expired, no matter what you do, you can only make it worse. Let's assume that the first problem you guys had was communication. Remember, the soul contract has expired, right? Okay? And then you try to work on the communication. It turns into passive aggressiveness, right? Okay? And then from there, you now start noticing things like emotional abuse. It just gets worse. It just keeps getting worse. And in some cases, some of the spouses might even end up dead in the relationship. Yeah, because your soul, again, doesn't care about that. It's not that big of a deal. As far as the soul is concerned, that is just like a person removing a certain shirt and, wearing another one in its place. It's not that serious. It's all about your lessons. What is your soul contract? Some of the people that are watching me, hey God, do you know that some of you even signed a soul contract to say, see, all my life, my marriages, men have dealt with me. In my next world, I do not want to be married. Do you know that? Okay. And then you come into this lifetime and you're wondering why you will date the man and date the man and date the man and date the man. Once it comes to marriage, pew! Oga and marry another person. Have you ever wondered why? What is your soul contract? What is your soul contract? Some of you will do everything. Even some of you will be like, you'll be doing wife duties, acts of service, giving your everything in the relationship, only for the man to leave and go and marry somebody who has never lifted a finger for him, ever. What is your soul contract? What is the challenge that you cannot, no matter what you do, you cannot get rid of it? You don't understand why. What is your soul contract? What is your soul contract? What is your soul contract? Now, let me give another instance. So, a woman decides, you know what? I'm in this marriage, for instance. This marriage is so difficult and all of that. But you know what? I'm gonna stay. Right? What she does not know is that the soul contract of the marriage probably expired 1 year after she got married. So if you ask a woman like this, if you talk to this woman, she will tell you that in all her 25 years of marriage, that she's been only happy in 1 year, that she can only remember 1 year she's there. Go and ask people, as you're watching this video, after watching this video, ask some of the people that you know. Ask some men that you know. Ask some women that you know. Ask them, how happy have you been in your marriage? For how long have you been happy in your marriage? Ask people questions. You will find out that some people are still in relationships whose soul contracts have expired a long time ago. And they hold on, they stay there. Okay, so let's just assume, right? You got married. The soul contract expired 1 year after you got married. You decided to stay for an additional 24 years. I don't want to hear your story. I usually like listening to people's stories, but in this case, I don't want to hear your story because I know that you've seen a lot of things. You've seen a lot of things, because when the soul contract has expired, it doesn't get better. It gets worse. And you will know, because you would hear the still small voice that will come and tell you, I think it's time for you to leave. You'll be like, I rebuke you in Jesus' name. This cannot be the voice of the Lord. It's not possible. I rebuke you. What God has joined together, let no man put asunder. The question is, who told you that God put it together? And let me ask you another question. Even if God himself put it together, and God himself decides to put asunder, who are you now, man, to be like, no, God, you see, this particular stuff that you have made, you have to keep it like this. God, you dare not put asunder. Isn't that what you're doing? Is that not what you're doing? Do you know that when he closes a door, that no man can open that one? Have you heard about it? I know you always hear things about when he opens a door, no man can shut. Do you know that the day he decides to shut a particular door like this, that you, with all your muscle, you cannot open it? Do you know that? What is your soul contract? There are some of you now that are listening to me. There is a job that you've been in. This job has shown you Pepe. Hey! Your soul has been telling you, please, you need to leave. Your mental health is at stake. You have to leave. It's no longer okay here. Yes, it was wonderful when you joined, but you have to leave now. You're like, I cannot do that. Do you know how many years I put into this work? And then they promoted me and they increased my salary. And now you want me to leave? Get thee behind me, Satan. I rebuke you. So contract, when it expires, it can only get worse. I am telling you this because I have lived through it. Remember, I made you a promise. If it's something that I've not gone through, it's gonna take a lot for me to come out here and talk to you about it. I don't believe in preaching something that I don't practice. I don't believe in it. I'm telling you, when it expires, no matter what you put in, no matter the kind of effort you put in, it only gets worse. You can stay there for as long as you want to, but it only gets worse. So this woman now that we're talking about, she stays an additional 24 years. Let's even assume that she stays in that marriage till truly death does them part. Let's say that she stayed in the marriage all through her life, right? Okay? Remember, the marriage was, iffy, emotional abuse, maybe no physical abuse, but there was a lot of abuse, emotional abuse, a lot of emotional trauma. So she lived her whole life in this marriage, celebrating her silver anniversary, celebrating her golden jubilee, or whatever it's called, golden jubilee, silver jubilee. She did all of that. Now, in the eyes of people, in the eyes of the people of this world that we live in, she had an exemplary marriage. Her children will be bragging with it. My parents married, they were together for a whole 50 years. What you do not know is that the woman has accumulated enough karmic debts to deal with in her next lifetime. Because unlike earthly marriages where death will do you part, when you carry karmic debts from things like that kind of soul contracts. Meanwhile, the reason why you got the soul contract is so that you can come into your own, so that you can stand up for yourself, so that you can activate your feminine energy, your masculine energy, so that you can say, I am enough. A person cannot treat me like this. What am I doing to attract this kind of people that treat me like this? And then you start doing the work and you physically get out of that relationship. You didn't do that. No, you didn't do it now. You didn't do it, right? Because doing that will mess with your stability. Doing that will mean that you are leaving your home, your status quo, your comfort zone. And the ego doesn't like that. Doing that will mean that you're losing your title as Mrs. Mister. So you didn't do it. The only problem we have here is that you did not pass that class. Yes, you didn't pass it. And your soul will have to reincarnate again and marry somebody just like that. That is why we talk about generational curses. That is why we talk about generational curses. Because now, as a reincarnated soul, you probably reincarnated in your lineage, as one of your grandkids or great-grandchildren. And now you're having the same problem. So when they now talk about it, they're like, but my great-grandmother had this kind of problem. What is going on here? And they say it is generational curses. That is why no matter how much you kabash, and no matter how many pastors you bring in and they stomp up and down, my dear, if you do not work here, if you do not go within, which is something that most of you don't want to do, you're wasting your time. It doesn't matter if you invite pastors every day of the week throughout the whole year. If you do not do the work that your soul is here to do, it is a waste of time. Because let me tell you something that happens after these deliverances, the numerous deliverances that you guys have, right? What happens is, I'm not laughing at anybody because I've been there, done that. We had a whole lot of that growing up, okay? So I'm not making jest of anybody here. But what I'm telling you is that what happens after the deliverance is this. Usually there's a shift in energies. Right? So you see things working. If it's a family where the men, for instance, have not been able to get contracts, now they're getting contracts. Why? There was a shift, a temporary shift in energy. Why? You also believe, oh wow, they came here, they prayed, they broke things, they cut trees, things are working for me. You are affirming, things will start to work for you. Of course you are affirming. You're assuming that things are working, so things will start to work. Things will definitely obey the law of assumption. So things are working. But after a while, you go back to your pattern and it starts all over again. And then you start looking for the next powerful man of God. Hallelujah, somebody. The next powerful man of God to come and conduct another deliverance. And some of these pastors, they will hear your cry and they will follow you. And some of them, they don't make it back home. Why? They are trying to tamper with people's soul contracts. You don't mess with soul contracts like that. It's not everybody that can do that. That is why some of them, on their way back home, they will have accidents and die with the whole church members. Yep. Soul contracts. What are your soul contracts? Some people did certain things in certain lifetimes. Some of them were murderers. They killed a lot of people. So they decided, you know what, in this lifetime, I'm going to be a lifesaver. Agamazondo. I will be a doctor, or I would be a nurse. I would heal people. I would help people get better. I will make up for what I did. I would be a firefighter. You know, I will save people. And then after making that contract, you reincarnate here and you forget about it. They tell you, oh yeah, Oga, come and be a doctor now. You say, how many years of schooling? I can't do that, I beg. Let me go into business. Let me just go into a 4-year program, and then I'll come back and, you know, just get into business and make money. Oga, you will make money, oh. It's not the money. You will make money, but guess what? The way you make it, that's probably the same way you will lose it. Why? Soul contracts. You came here to save lives. Let me check comments. Let me see comments. Okay. Soul contracts. So Oga would put money in this business, it will go pew. He will put money in this business, pew. He will say it's his uncle in the village. You will go, they will tell you, it's that your auntie, that one that cooks that food that you like, she is the one that is doing you, and you will believe it. You stop eating the woman's food. She will bring food for you and she will turn back. You will put it in the trash. Auntie did not do anything to you. What is your soul contract? What is your soul contract? Do you know that it could be that it's not like you're not going to make money, but maybe you're supposed to make that money at 50. Do you know that some people are destined to make money at 60? Do you know that some people are destined to make money at 70? But you don't know. You don't know your own. So you're angry. You're frustrated because your friends, they made money at 20-something, 30-something, And you yourself, no matter where you put your hand, it's not they work. So you get mad. You try to use different ways. You start to put your hands in nasty things to make money. Oga, what is your soul contract? Auntie, I know. Your mates have children. This one, that one, that one, that one. Have you ever wondered, what is my soul contract? What am I learning from this process? Because, see, if you don't learn the lesson today, you will learn it tomorrow. If you don't learn it in this lifetime, you will learn it in another lifetime. Nature is not in a hurry. This thing goes on for eternity. Your evolution is up to you. You can decide to evolve in this lifetime. You can decide to evolve in the next 5 lifetimes. It's up to you, really. It is up to you. But the question is, for how long? I know you don't want to go within. You don't want to admit that there's a possibility that what I'm saying could be true. Because there is something out there whose fault it is. It must be. Again, I'm not forcing you to think of anything. All I'm saying is, just a little bit. Nothing serious. Just think about it. What is your soul contract? What is that thing that you're hanging on to for their life? What is it? You know that it's about to come crashing down, but you don't want it to crash down. You're holding on to it. This thing must not break. What is your soul contract? Iyowa. I would love for that thing to come back to Igbo land. I don't know if other traditions still practice it, but I would love for that thing to, come back to Igbo land so that our people can have clarity again, so that our young boys will not start meddling into things that will ruin their lives, so that people will understand, okay, I just need to hold on from so and so time to so and so time. Okay, this is what I'm supposed to do, so that we can have clarity again. I wish we could go back to those days when we had such things. Soul contract. Our people will say, "Offrum ejia froha." Offrum ejia froha. What that means is that the same thing that I do and I go scot-free, you might do it and not go scot-free. Let me tell you something. 2 friends could have different soul contracts. One could have the soul contract of being a terrible human being. All he cares about in life is to make money. Person A. Person B has a different soul contract. His soul contract is to be light, to be, light to people. A succor for people. But he has a friend A. And friend A does people anyhow and he gets away with it. So friend B somehow gets convinced by friend A to start acting like him. Okay? Guess who is going to come to bite in the ass? Who is it going to come back to bite in the ass? Have you ever asked yourself why most times in movies, we watch movies and we see maybe a gang of 5 people, right? They go and they're going to rob a bank. But out of these 5 people, there is one of them that did not want to go. The one that needed to be convinced, he needed to be talked to over and over again. Come and join us. He'll be like, no, I don't want to go. They somehow convinced him to go with them. Have you ever asked yourself a question? Why is it that it's always this person that is caught in the movie? Soul contract. Soul contract. I know you want to join your friend to do that thing that she's doing. But what is your soul contract? Your friend might go and come back. No wahala. Will you go and come back? Soul contract. What is your soul contract? What is your soul contract? the life you chose before birth. Some of you chose to take care of a child that would be physically challenged in this lifetime. Why? Adure, why would I choose to have a child that is physically challenged? Do you know how much work it is? Do you know what it takes for me to take care of this child? How is it even possible? Well, is there a chance that in your previous lifetimes, and this is just one scenario, but is there a chance that in your previous lifetimes you were just so fast in getting money, fast in getting everything, just fast? You were just fast. Everything was just, you were just floating. You were never grounded. Never grounded. You never took out the time to be still. You never took out the time to ponder. You never took out the time to be present. And then in this lifetime, your soul chose, you know what? I'm going to have this child. This child will slow me down a little bit. This child will teach me how to appreciate all these things that I took for granted in my previous lifetimes. So you have a child that cannot work, and all of a sudden you're like, wow, this is really a blessing. I'm grateful. From giving thanks that you're able to walk, you're giving thanks that you're able to breathe. You're giving things that you're able to feel. You become present. And even though this is so difficult, taking care of this child and everything, but guess what? Your soul is learning what is signed up for. This is just one tiny scenario. There are so many scenarios. What is your soul contract? My point is this. No matter where you find yourself in, no matter what it is that you're struggling with, relationship, finances, business, stability, conception, whatever it is, ask yourself, what is this thing trying to teach me? What is this my situation? As horrible as it is, as painful as it is, as draining as this situation is, what is it trying to teach me? What can I learn from this thing? Remove your ego, because it's your ego that will always tell you that the other person is the problem. No, honey, you are not the problem. Neither is the other person the problem. It is just lessons. It's just lessons. Ask yourself, what am I supposed to be learning in this situation? Yes, I know what they did to you. I know. That is okay. But is there a chance that you could let this person off the hook? After all, the Bible will tell you that we do not wrestle against flesh and blood. You're not wrestling against Nkechi. No. Neither are you wrestling against Emeka. No. You are wrestling against principalities, against powers. Can you let people off the hook? Forget about what this person did. Forget about this thing that happened to you. Yes, they fired you, they let you go. I get it. Can you come within? Can you start to realize that the other person is just a mirror? It's just a reflection of what is going on inside of you. Can you forgive? Can you let it go? And try to learn the lessons that you're supposed to learn. If you have been in that kind of toxic work environment, can you take accountability? Can you take responsibility? Can you realize all of a sudden, can you take it into perspective that there's a chance that you could have decided, you know what? Yes, I don't know how I'm going to handle A, B, and C, but I'm going to remove myself out of this place because I deserve better, because my mental health is at stake, because this place is no longer okay, because this is no longer working. Can you love yourself enough to do that? Because the height of hypocrisy is trying to expect from other people the same thing that we cannot give ourselves. You don't love yourself. You talk to yourself like, what I don't know. You talk to yourself the same way you cannot talk to anybody. You cannot talk to any other human being the way you talk to yourself. But you want a person, you want a man, you want a woman who's going to tell you that you are the apple of his or her eyes. You want somebody who's going to tell you that you're the next thing, like the best, excuse me, you are the best thing God ever created on his own earth. You want that. do you tell yourself the same things? You go into the bathroom because you made one mistake, and you keep hurling insults at yourself over and over again. Tell yourself how you're stupid, how you're this and that. And then your significant other one day gets mad at you and they tell you the same thing. And then you want to kill them more. You fight them with everything inside of you. How dare you talk to me like that? Honey, they are just a mirror. They are just a mirror. I'm not trying to let people up though. I'm not trying to say that emotional abuse is okay. I'm not trying to say that verbal abuse is okay. That is not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that it starts here. What do you need to heal? What do you need to feel? What do you need to do? Because, for instance, let's just go with the analogy of the workplace. It is not enough for you to say, yes, I'm enough. It is not enough for you to say, I deserve more and still be in that place. No. Even though you're doing all this inner work, which is the feminine work, you're doing all of that, you're using your feminine energy to work inside of you. You have to use your masculine energy, which is the energy of doing, to step out of that place and be like, no, I deserve better. I'm gonna get better. I am made for more. You need all of that. So do that work. I know that is hard. I know that what you want, you need it now. In fact, no, not even now. You've been needing it for some time now. You want it ASAP. I know you want it now. But please calm down. Take a deep breath. What is this thing trying to teach me? What is this trying to teach me? Some of you will make friends. You get into a bus. The analogy I guess saw the other day was that you're so good at making acquaintances. You go into a room, people flock to you. Your energy is so beautiful. Everybody wants your number. All the girls, yeah, you're just bawling, right? Okay. And then they take your phone numbers. Okay. Everybody, goes back to their homes and stuff like that. And you just don't feel like calling them. You don't feel like, and even if you do call them, that vibe is no longer there. Why? Soul contract. It's possible that for you and those people, you were just supposed to meet in that environment only. That's it. Nothing more. When you try to extend it, it becomes so, and you're like, wow, but this person was so cool at the party when I met them. Why are they like this? Why? Their energy is off, is whack. Soul contract. Soul contract. It expired hours after you met them. But some of you will be like, because they were so nice at the party, let me keep calling them. So you keep calling them. You keep trying to hang out with them. You keep trying to replicate that energy that you felt. And it just never happens. Soul contract. I told you guys that I wanted to take time to talk about this. I do not want to rush it. So I am listening. Please bring on your questions. I want your questions. Let me see how much I can answer here. Okay. Let me see how much I can answer here. Okay. So somebody asked a question. How do you know your soul contract? Well, we were just talking about it. I said that in the olden days, right? What we would normally do would be, as soon as a child is born, the child will be taken to whoever is the priest or the priestess of that village. And the priest or the priestess will tell them, this child, look at who this child is. This is what they are here to do, blah, 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 to equip the child. That was just a very easy, straightforward way of knowing what your soul contract is, or at least the main soul contracts that you have. There's no way anybody can give you an exhaustive list of what your soul contract is. It's too broad. But at least that will give you something, solid, something to work with. These days, I don't think we have that anymore. I would like for that to come back. But one way to know your soul contract is to listen to your intuition. I've thought about intuition over and over again. Anytime I talk about intuition, I feel like I'm overvlogging the whole thing. Like, I've talked about intuition so much. If you've not watched my video on intuition by now, I don't know. Well, check it out. It's on my page. I'll try to post it some other time. But your intuition, know when it's over. Learn to know when it's over, because staying back when it's over, it will cost you. It will cost you. When your mind says, I remember a particular a particular contract that I was in, right? And it was just 1 year after the contract. And this man of God called me then, right? A friend of mine, I don't know if she's going to be watching this video though. I don't want to call her name. But she told me about this man of God. So I called the man of God, or rather the man of God called me. Somebody called somebody. And the man of God told me, okay, you need to leave. Get into a bus and leave. I'm like, I rebuke you, man of God. You cannot be serious, because what you're telling me is against what I have known all my life. How can you tell me to just leave? You're going against whatever is written in the Bible. I was so mad. I was so mad. But that man was sent to tell me, hello, your contract with this stuff is done. It's over. Now, I ended the contract 8-9 years later, and boy, did it cost me. It almost cost me everything. Staying back in an expired soul contract will cost you almost, if you're not careful, it will cost you almost everything. See, these things are important. They are very, very important. Especially for some of us that know that you have a certain kind of calling. Maybe you have a calling. When we say we have a calling, or somebody has a calling, immediately we start thinking this person is called to be a pastor, or this person is called to be a priestess. No, it's not always like that. There are different kinds of things that you could be called into. One day I'm going to talk about Dibia specifically. I want to talk to us about Dibia, the meaning of Dibia. It is not what we think it is. One day we're going to talk about that. Okay, but when we hear we have a calling, these are the things that we tend to think that it is, but it's not like that. You could be called to be a healer. Just your presence heals people. Some people just watching me now, it's not even about what I'm saying. Some of them might even have me on mute and they're watching me, but just watching me, the energy that is coming off their screens is healing something inside of them, is doing something for them. Some of you are just called to be healers. Some are called to be singers. Some are called to be lifesavers, doctors, nurses. Some are called to be lawyers. Some are called to be war criers. And then some are actually warriors. That is why sometimes we have people that will agitate for war. But then when it's time for them to fight, they back off. And then people feel bad about that, because all this while you'll be hyping people up. Okay, telling them to go. Okay, now it's time for you to show up. It's time for you to show up at this rally. It's time for you to show up at this protest. You've been telling people to go, and then you don't go. And people get mad at that, forgetting that that one alone is a calling. Forgetting that if you tell the warrior to be somebody who cries, like who gets people to fight, he might not be able to do that. That is not his soul contract. That alone is a soul contract. Being able to hype people up, being able to tell people you can do it. Oh yeah, let's go get this thing. Let's go and do this protest. Whether you go there or not, you have done your job. That is why it's important that we don't judge people. Me, I'm going to be having a video on that one at some point, because it's really important. I've seen a lot of judgment, especially on this Facebook. I don't know what's going on. Christian will be judging traditionalist. Traditionalist is judging Christian. It's just everywhere. It's so much. And that's an easy way to know a person who is led by ego. When you are led by the Spirit, you don't do stuff like that. Even when your ego wants you to judge that person, you quickly remember, wait, everybody's on their own level of evolution, and you back off and you love instead. Instead of that judgment, you replace it with love. That one is story for another day. But that is how you find out your soul contract. What is your soul asking you to do? Another one that is important for me to talk about is soul contract as regards to the multi-potentialite. Somebody who is gifted, somebody who has multiple talents. The ones that you say, Hamereke. What that means is that they will do this, they will do this, they will do this, they will do that. Soul contracts of multi-potentialites. That is something else that I will talk about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to talk about in this video, but let me talk about it a little bit, right? If you're a multi-potentialite, you find yourself singing. 1 year is all about singing. And then the next year, you're no longer feeling like singing. That is okay. It's possible that your soul contract with singing has expired. Okay? and then you take up tailoring, and then it's all about designs and designs and designs, and that's all you dream about, that's all you feel like doing, that's just it. The energy is just crazy. You put your all into it, thinking that you have found your final life career, and all of a sudden that dies down. That is okay. That might be a part of your soul contract. You find yourself, that is why I will always tell multi-potentialites, please, unless it's something that you're absolutely sure you want to do for the rest of your life, do not go back into school for a very long period of time to do it. Don't do it. You don't know when your soul contract with that thing might expire. That is why you see people, they will go into school, they will study for about 3 years. Let's say the course is about 4 years, right? They study for about 3 years. Jeez. Hold on, I need to drink water. They study for about 3 years, right? And they drop out of the course. When you're a multi-potentialite, it's a little bit tricky, but I'm going to make a specific video for the multi-potentialites, the people who have multiple talents. You're able to do nails, you're able to do hair, you're able to do that. Whatever it is you see, you're able to replicate it, even exceed whatever it is they have out there, right? I'm going to do a video for that one, specially how you can find your soul's purpose as a multi-potentialite. But today, the focus is on soul contract. Now, before I leave this very video, there's something else I want to address. Understand that people's soul contracts are different. Let's assume that you have 5 friends. And out of this, your 5 friends, 4 of them are doing exceedingly well. They are type A personality, they're go-getters, boss babes, right? And then, okay, 3 of them. And then one of you guys, it has a type B personality. She's very laid back, you guys are doing well. She's cheering you guys on. She just doesn't have the energy to do that. All she wants to do is just to ball. She wants to go on vacations, She's good with her 9-to-5 job. She's not about to be an entrepreneur anytime soon, okay? She's just chilling. And then after a while, you guys will start to resent her because she's not go-getting as much as you guys are. You don't like the fact that she's just laid back. You don't like the fact that she's just she's just there. You don't like that. You want all your friends to be, doing stuff. Remember that people's soul contracts are different. Some people are here to just experience life. They are not here to make any mark. They are not here to leave any legacy. They are not here to do all of that. All they are here to do is to relax and be taken care of. Exactly, you got that. That's all they are here to do. Their soul just wants to come and have fun and go. That is why before you judge that person, telling them how they are lazy, telling them how they are, I'm not saying that there are people that are not me self on a very good day. I want to relax and be taken care of. I'm just saying, but be careful before you resent people. Be careful before you judge people for not acting how you would act. You don't know people's soul contracts. Some are here to observe. They don't care about you trying to, save the world. They don't care. That's not a part of their soul contract. As a matter of fact, any day they try to do that, they start having problems because it's not a part of their soul contract. So before you start judging that your friend, that your auntie, that your brother, that your sister, for not being a hustler like you, soul contract. Think about it. Soul contract. Do I have any more questions? Let me see. Okay. All right. So I don't know. I hope I was able to answer your question, but your intuition plays a huge role in telling you when it's time to stop something, when it's time to start something. But the problem we have, most times it's not even starting. Sometimes it's ending. When you start this a business, right? Your intuition told you, go ahead and start it and all of that. And it's booming and all of a sudden things stop. And then your intuition is like, I think it's time to shut this down. You're like, it's a lie. Hey, consistency. I have to be consistent. I have to be persistent. I have to persevere. All of that are wonderful qualities. You cannot achieve anything solid without consistency, without perseverance, without determination. Absolutely amazing. but you need to also understand when to quit. Soul contract. If that is a business whose sole contract has expired, your sole contract with the business has expired, what will start happening in the business is, no matter how much you put in, it goes down the drain. No matter the quality of talent that you hire for that business to work, it doesn't work. You would find people that they tell you these are top performers, right? And you hire them, and they come to your company, they're not doing nothing. Sole contracts. Knowing when to leave, knowing when to quit. Soul contracts. Okay, the intuition, it plays a very powerful role. Somebody asked, I love this name. He asked, where does soul contracts find its footing with our belief in God and destinies? Well, I think you answered your own question because you talked about destinies. We have heard about destinies all the time. We talk about talking about God. I don't really know. Well, everybody's different. I believe so much in the concept of God. You're asking how does it find its footing with our belief in God? Well, the Bible addresses reincarnation. The Bible talks about reincarnation a lot. When it talks about John the Baptist, when it talks about Jesus, there are several instances of reincarnation in the Bible. So that's why I said in the post that I made previously, if you're going to watch this, please go ahead and watch the reincarnation video that I posted in the comments so that you would have, some kind of backstory to what we're going to discuss today. Okay, so I believe that is addressed in that video. But then again, if you're just wondering, understand that reincarnation is something that is very much addressed in the Bible. It's not something that the Bible shows. It's not something that is how do I explain this now? It's not something that is abhorred, so to speak. So that's the way I look at it. And another thing is this. I don't know if you're talking about the Bible. Okay, you said God and destinies. Well, that's very much addressed. And you have to also understand that there are also many other texts. I know that majority of my audience are Christians, but there are so many other texts that I take into consideration as well. I do not draw all my conclusions from the Bible only. Okay, I hope that answered your question. Let me see. Do I have any more questions? I think that's about it. Did I answer everybody's questions or did I miss something? Tell me, guys. Tell me so that I'll take care of that before I sign out. But wait, guys, I know I read some comments of people that said they learned something here. Did you guys learn anything? Did you learn anything? Please ask me your questions, because when I leave the live, it might be a little bit difficult for me to start. I don't like typing. I know it's a laziness thing, but I don't like it. But yeah, if you have any questions for me, go ahead and ask your questions. I told you guys I'm not gonna rush today. I'm chilling, we're chilling. Bring your questions. Let me try my best to address them. But meanwhile, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let me see. Okay, so he asks again, does soul contract have anything to do with untimely death in a family? Yes. Now, soul contract has things to do with untimely death as a whole, not just about in a family. It is as a whole, okay? Untimely deaths. You can have what we call, actually, according to the soul, there's nothing like untimely death. Every death is timely. Whether we like it or not, it's timely. The only thing is that sometimes people are not able to achieve their life's purpose before they actually pass on. But there is no such thing as untimely death. That is there. Remember that we talked about it. As far as the soul is concerned, that is not a big deal. That is just like changing the shirt and wearing something different. It's not that serious. It's just changing bodies. That's it. So it's not that complicated. So yes, it does have stuff to do with untimely death, and let me explain why. I will say untimely death just because of the context of the question that you asked. Okay, so let us say that a person decides, you know what, I'm going to Umuahia to take a course. This course, the duration of this course is 7 days. Okay, but I remember I was in Umuahia last year for the same course, but I was able to take 2 courses out of the 3 courses that we're going to learn, right, during this particular conference. So instead of me spending the 7 days that other people are going to spend, people who do not have the experience already, people who have never taken any of the courses, instead of me staying there for 7 days, because I already have this experience, because I have taken 2 courses out of the 3 courses that I'm supposed to learn, instead of me spending 7 days in Umuahia, I will spend 3 days. Instead of me spending 7 days in Umuahia to take this course, these 3 courses, because I have taken 2 courses out of these 3 courses, when I go to Umuahia now, I will not stay 7 days again. I will stay for just 3 days. That is what we in 3D call untimely death. It is not untimely death. The soul already knows when it's going to leave a particular dimension. Once the soul is done doing what it's supposed to do, it leaves. That is why sometimes you hear things like, good people don't last. You hear things like, why are you doing everything so fast? If you do everything so fast, you might end up dead. You know, things like that. We hear things like that. We see somebody who achieved more than a 70-year-old man in the life span of 2025, and the person dies. That is why we see things like that. When a soul is done with what it's supposed to do, it leaves. Another scenario could be this. Good. Thank you so much for asking this question. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Now, another scenario of untimely death could be this. When you are given, like when you choose what you're supposed to learn, what your soul is supposed to learn in any particular dimension, right? Sometimes we forget. Remember I talked about the man that forgot that he's supposed to learn how to appreciate family, and then he ends up marrying wife after wife after wife after wife. Now look at what happens. Sometimes in such a scenario, the person could start having different issues, right? To bring them back to core. The reason why people have some trials sometimes is not to punish them. It is to bring them back to self, to bring them back to their spirit, to bring them back to God, to bring them back to source. Okay? Not to hurt them. So that heartbreak that lady experienced at a certain time was not to cause her pain. No, it was to bring her to a moment of reflection so that she can be like, okay, what is going on? How did I lose myself? How did all this begin? What can I do better? That is the purpose. Now, the reason why, for instance, the lady might have experienced the heartbreak is because she, that is her soul, and her partner's soul decided, you know what, our relationship is going to be wonderful, oh, it's going to be amazing. But when we get to earth, when I notice that you have lost yourself in this relationship, whenever I notice that you have started giving more than you're receiving, when I notice that in this relationship, you're no longer caring about what you love, you are now wearing all the things I tell you to wear, you are now cutting your hair because I told you to cut your hair, you are now not wearing makeup because I told you not to wear makeup, you are now losing yourself. Okay, you had a calling to be whatever, a singer, whatever, but you let that what's it called, that dream go, right? Because of your love for me, you have lost yourself. Whenever you start acting like this, when we get to earth, what I'm going to do is I'm going to break your heart. Okay, I'm going to break your heart. Now, when I break your heart, it will help you go back to your essence. All that time you've been giving to me, everything you've been pouring into me, you will now learn how to again pour back into yourself. That is why we say things like rejection is redirection. It is just a redirection. It is just a redirection. So when things like that happen, usually maybe the guy will break the lady's heart. She'll be like, Emeka has killed me, oh, hey. She will go to Femi. Femi will do the same thing. Why? These people are called the soul group, or they could also be known as soulmates. People that I agreed to have something to do with in this lifetime. People that I agreed, souls that I agreed to meet in this lifetime. Souls that are supposed to help me achieve my soul purpose in this lifetime. So they will all be doing the same thing because this is something that we agreed upon. That is Igbo proverb. Right? If I make an agreement with you, next time I see you, I don't need to start reminding you of my agreement with you. I just look at you and you look at me, I'm like, we got it, let's go, right? So Femi starts treating her, even though Femi did not know about her experience with Emeka, Femi will start treating her the exact same way. Why? She lost herself in that relationship with Femi again. She started giving more to Femi again than herself. She stopped doing anything that concerns taking care of herself. There was no self-love. All the high she was now getting was from her relationship with Femi. And because she has broken the contract again, Femi will break her heart again. Good. So that some of you that are saying, why do men always treat me the same way? I am now explaining to you what is going on. You are being redirected. It's worse if you're a light worker. It is way worse if you're a light worker. A light worker means somebody who is able to heal others with their light. Someone who is able to just send out unconditional love. And because of who you are, it's not necessarily because you have to do anything. Because of who you are, the world is just better with you inside of it. When you are a light worker, it's even worse. That's how they will be breaking your hearts. Bang, 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 bang. Until you learn how to love yourself. Until you learn how to heal yourself. Until you learn to give yourself, until you go within and heal the things that are inside of you. That's how they'll be using you for football. And you will be like, what is going on? Am I not fine enough? Am I not this? It's not you. The thing is, you're not learning the lessons that you're supposed to learn. You're not learning the lessons. And that's why I tell people this. Okay, so hold on, let me just finish this question before I digress, right? Now, untimely death can also happen as a redirection. It can happen as a redirection. So let's say Emeka got money in this lifetime. Now, Emeka's soul contract or his EUA is that in this lifetime that he will get a lot of money, but he will use this money to help the less privileged. He will use it to help widows, because in his past lifetime, whenever he gets money, he will just be using it anyhow. And besides, he took advantage of less privileged people, widows, and all of that. So his soul contract is that in this lifetime, he will use his money to help people. Emeka gets his money in this lifetime and forgets because it's not something he's used to. So he goes back to a life of partying. He goes back to kicking it and all of that. First time, Emeka had an accident on his way back from club. First warning. Emeka did not understand. Okay. Next time, Emeka probably hit somebody on his way back from wherever, the usual life that they're having. Emeka still did not get it. Next time, Emeka could have kidney disease. To purify him, to give him time to purge, to give him time to meditate, to give him time to reconnect to the divine, to give him time to get back to the core of his being. If Emeka continues and still does not understand, Emeka thought that side, no. He continues, Emeka could die, he could pass on from whatever it is that is going on. Because he's not doing his sole purpose. There's no need. He's just wasting his time on earth. It doesn't make any sense. So he has to go back. And then when he goes back, he will now remember, oh my God, I can't believe I failed this thing again. What is going on? I didn't learn this thing. And now Emeka has to reincarnate again. Emeka has to reincarnate again. I will talk about suicide. I will talk about its connection with soul contract. It's not going to be in this video, but I'm going to talk about it. Now, let us see. Somebody said, can you speed up your karma? This is from Patricia Chamaka, or wait it out. Somebody said, can you speed up your karma, or do you wait it out? Are there ways to pay upcoming debts on time? Yes, there are ways to pay upcoming debts on time. And yes, you can speed up your karma. Let me tell you why I said that. When you learn your lessons, right? You meet somebody, they don't know you from Adam. They just did not like you. They start meting out all these horrible acts to you, right? First of all, you remove yourself from that circumstance or whatever is going on, but then you forgive them. You don't start looking for ways to revenge. You don't start looking for ways to tell everybody, hey, look at what this person did to me, right? Even if you do it, you're able to retrace yourself and you start pouring out unconditional love. Why? Because you understand karma. You understand that it is not normal for somebody who doesn't know you from anywhere to start meting out that kind of treatment to you, right? You start loving them, even if you have to do it from a distance. Whenever you remember that painful memory, you send out love to it. I'm going to teach you guys a prayer, a Hawaiian prayer that you can use for speeding up karma and paying up karmic debts. Please, Patricia, can you please send me a message or something just to remind me so that I can teach that prayer? It's called the Ho'oponopono prayer. It is used to clear up karmic debts, right? Whenever you remember that person, you say such a prayer and then you pour out love to them. You find ways to try to forgive them. You are releasing your karma. You are paying up your karmic debts. And why I said it speeds up karma is this: the moment you decide to revenge, the moment you decide to pay back that same thing that person did to you, to pay back, you are accumulating another karma. Remember, they didn't just wake up and start treating you like that. There was something that went on. It could not have been in this lifetime. It could have been in the following, the previous lifetime. That's why when people talk about karma, I'm like, you guys don't even understand what this thing is about. I've thought about karma before, but I don't know if people are getting it. I don't understand. Please help me share this video. Help me share. There's a reason why I keep asking people to share it. People are not understanding the concept of karma. It is not the fact that the person did that to you. I get it, it hurts. Have you ever sat down to ask yourself, why would this person do this to me? What did I ever do to this person to warrant this kind of treatment? Have you not found it very weird that a person could just do that to you out of, with all the goodness you show them, the kindness you show them, just like that, they just did that to you? Does it make any sense? Have you thought about it? So, sweetheart, this is the way, or these are the ways that you can speed up karma, pay upcoming debts on time. Unconditional love of self. Unconditional love for others, loving others unconditionally. Instead of you not to love them unconditionally, keep them at a distance and love them unconditionally. That is a solid way to pay upcoming debts on time. I hope I answered your question. Thank you so much, Patricia, for asking. I think these are the only questions I have. Okay, Chichi Madu Elem, you said, I always feel depressed because I feel like I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Well, Chichi, I'm sorry you're feeling that way. Please, if you need to see a therapist, do not hesitate to do so. But I'm sorry that you're feeling that way. But I don't want you to worry yourself too much about whether you're doing what you're supposed to do or not. And let me tell you why. You are always at the right place at the right time. Wherever you are, Chichi, whatever you're doing right now, that is what you are supposed to be doing. Do it with love. Do it with gratitude. Show kindness as much as you can. Be as good as you can. You do not have to be perfect. You are not here to be perfect. None of us is perfect. If we're looking for perfection, is just an illusion. So you are doing just what you were supposed to do. You are at the right place at the right time. Take it easy. The right step, the next step for you is always obvious. You will always know the next thing to do. You will always just listen to your spirit. Just be calm. Take it easy and listen and practice gratitude. Okay? Play songs that make you happy. Dance. Listen to worship songs. Do things that make you happy. If you can avoid Facebook, if you can, no, it depends. It's not triggering for everybody. But if it's triggering for you, you can avoid it. You can avoid the news. Just be happy. Get fresh air. You are doing good. You are doing a great job. After all, you're here. I'm seeing you in my life, so I know you're doing a wonderful job. I hope you feel better. Have a beautiful day. Thank you very much for even opening that up. Thank you so much, so much. Let me see if I have any more questions. I think this is it. And I thank you so much. The remaining 4 people that have been here, thank you. I appreciate you so much. If you don't have any more questions, I'm going to be ending the live video. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to be moving my live sessions to Adure Speak. So if you don't follow me yet on Adure Speak, go ahead and do that, because moving forward, I think it will be best for me and for everybody to be on Adure Speak, because then I can hire some moderators to help me get to your questions faster and all of that. But that's about it. So contracts, did you learn anything? Post it below. I'll be reading your comments much later. I love you guys so much. Don't ever doubt it. Don't say, she's not seeing me, oh, how will she not love me? She doesn't even know the kind of person I am. Why would she not love me? Listen, if people can be hating you, if they can be doing things without knowing you, me, I can love you without knowing you. I don't have to know you, but I deeply love you, and I thank you for sharing this space today with me. Thank you for watching my live video. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you. There is so much love here for you.